we're going to talk about how to make polygons with SVG code. So that would include things like trapezoids, hexagons, octagons, triangles, stars, anything like that. So we're going to go over the basic element and then the attributes. Similar to the other elements, the name for the element is basically what it is. So to write it, we do open angle bracket, polygon, whatever the attributes are, slash close angle bracket. And the attributes are very similar to what we already saw with the polylines. We have points, fill, and stroke width. There's one or two other things that we can do with that, but we'll get into that later. So let's actually play with the code a little bit. So open angle brackets, polygon, points equal, let's say 50 and 20, and 30 and 80, and let's actually just do 2 for right now, just to make a point here. So we can then do stroke equals, let's do cadet blue, and we can do fill equals orange, and oh, we need a stroke width. We'll say that stroke width equals 5. So if we save it and we refresh this, alright, so there is the little polygon that I've created. And you might say, well, it's just a line. Well, yeah, it is just a line because there's no area, right? For there to be area, we need another set of points, at least one more point. If we actually delete the stroke and we save it and refresh, it should disappear altogether. Because it is just a line, there is no fill. So let's put that back. And let's add one more point. So maybe 40 and, I don't know, 60. So if we save this and we refresh it, little one, let's make this a little bit more extreme, maybe 80. Ooh, not quite that much. Refresh it again. There we go. Now on that previous one, there actually was a little bit of an interior. We just couldn't see it because of the stroke. If I put it back and delete the stroke and save it and refresh, there you go. It's there. It's just really little. All right, let's make this a bit bigger so that way you can actually see it. All right, just some random ones in there. There we go. Let's push that out a bit more. Whoa, whoa, mistake. There we go. So that's a polygon, and it's a triangle right now because there's 3 points. If you want a different shape, you just make more points. The last things that I want to mention really quickly are this rounding business that I have going on here. If I add in stroke, line, join, I can change it to round and refresh it. Now you can see the points are rounded if I zoom in a bit. On the previous one I have line cap, but that doesn't really apply here because that's about the end of the lines, and you won't be able to see that because there is no end. They merge, right? So if I put this as a polyline and I save it and I refresh this, you can see here how the end has sort of this square cap on it. And if I delete this round part there, it should be a little bit more square. There we go. So that's sort of what that does. I could change this to round instead, and now it rounds those. But if I add it onto this, nothing will happen because there's not really an end to the line. So if I refresh, you can see there's no change. Now there are 2 other types of line joins. Let me make this a little bit bigger just so it's easier to see. In addition to round, we also have bevel, which looks like that. So it like cuts off sort of the corners. And then we also have miter. If I refresh, there you go, there's miter. You might say, well, it looks sort of the same as we first started, and you're right. Miter is basically the defaults. Now if I delete this all together and put it back to the way it was, there you go. So that's what it is. So those are polygons. That's it. That's all there is to it.